Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of Bible FC 25, an RTG edition. Here's a reminder of the team on screen, and here's a reminder that we've got a few more wins to get back to Division 8 yet again as we come up against this fairly solid team. In our first game, we win a free kick early doors. We stick that man David Beckham on it, who bends home a Beckham special beautifully in the 4th minute for a 1-0 lead, and at that point the guy had enough, so we got an early 1-0 win, an early option for the Bible passage, another step closer back to getting to Division 8. So we hop into another game. We come up against another fairly standard team with your Freeze, Zidane and Bellingham, and here is what happened. So we play it through to Thierry Henry. He runs and runs and runs, and he bangs it beautifully post and in for a 1-0 lead, and I believe the 4th minute. And then, or was it the 6th minute? Possibly it was the 6th. We can check back the replay. As we play it into Henry, a nice little bit of skill, and he finesses it past the keeper deliciously for 2-0. Now at this point, he goes up the other end. I wipe him out of Jonathan Tah. To my surprise, that was given as a straight red. I don't think he was last man, but anyway, such is life. As we're 2-0 up, we sweat it across to Rashford for a weird kind of half bicycle kick type thing. The sort of thing I would only be able to do in terms of, I can't bicycle kicks, I'm not that athletic, so I'll just do a sort of half one instead. As Golaski has an absolute stinker, and I think ends up parrying it into his own net for an OG, so it's 3-1 now at this point. And then his player picks up the ball, and to be fair, deliciously slams it into the top bins, sort of on a side foot. So he pulls it back to 3-2 at this point. And then he gets into the box, a block shot falls back to him, which he scuffs in for 3-3. So I've gone from cruising to having an unfair red card, in my opinion, to 3-3. But we don't give up. We know it's in the locker to get another goal. We play a lovely little 1-2, playing that man Thierry Henry to smash it home into the bins. I kick it back into the back of the net again, just for good measure. 4-3 win, another bunch of options for the Bible passage, as we're then only one win away from Division 8. I buy an informed Jonathan Tah, partly because the other one's suspended, and partly because it would be nice to have an upgrade on him for a bit more pace, etc. So he goes straight into the team, which is now looking even more solid. So yeah, fairly pleased with how the team's going on this Bible FC campaign, as we come up against this in our final match. Probably the best team on paper we've come up against so far on the episode. And he slips through Vinny Jr., poor defending from myself, and he delightfully dinks the keeper for a 1-0 lead. But then down the line we play it, and I think we chip it in. Thierry Henry slams in the shot, well saved, and Mateus Cunha can't miss from there to square it up at 1-1 as he gets stuck into the goalpost. But then right from kick-off, he takes the mick with a few keepy-ups. It ends up somehow coming back to him from probably poor defending for myself. And he gets into the box, plays it past the keeper. I think, was that Vinny Jr. again? So we're 2-1 down at this point, but look, we get through on goal. To be honest, I didn't want to just tap it in from there. It just felt too easy, so I ended up doing a Berber spin and sticking it in the bins instead. So we tied it up at 2-2 with that. Then again, another kick-off situation. But this time, I believe we win it back. And look at the state of this. Zidane, unnecessary skill, but look at that! Absolutely screaming bicycle kick from the advanced rainbow flick. Pop in the comments, is that my best goal I've scored on the series? I think it's got to be right up there. Let me know if you think it is. As we then do another unnecessary bicycle kick type thing towards some wonderful interplay. We eventually get into the box, well saved by the keeper, but Thierry Henry on the half volley sticks it back over his head to seal the deal. He knows he's done enough for Division 8 as they all knee slide towards the corner flag along with myself for a 4-2 win. So we're back to Division 8, hopefully we can stay there this time. Most importantly, we've got plenty of options for the Bible passage, which we will go and head into now.
Okay, so into the Bible passage, and we're going to go with a goal scored of Thierry Henry in the 6th minute, and therefore read from chapter 6 in the Old Testament, and we're going to go for Isaiah chapter 6. It's one of my favourite Old Testament passages, and it's basically a vision that the prophet Isaiah had of the Lord. And here's what it says. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the whole temple. You've got this picture of God, he's high on a throne, his robe is filling the whole temple around him. And he goes on to say, above him, so above the Lord, he's already really high up, stood the seraphim. So seraphim are these sort of massive angels. They're massive winged beings, massive angels, and it says each had 6 wings. With 2 of them, they covered their faces. We'll find out in a minute why. With 2, he covered his feet, and with 2, they flew. So you've got these angels that are flying high above this picture of the Lord on a throne, and they're covering their faces, covering their feet, and they're flying with their other wings, and they're calling to one another, saying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, the whole earth is full of his glory." So they're just basically just completely worshipping this perfectly holy God, and they're covering themselves because he's so holy and so other that they can't even sort of be in the presence of him because they're not worthy enough, or they don't feel worthy enough to be in his presence. And then he goes on to say the foundations of the threshold shook at the voice of him who called, and the house was filled with smoke. So you just get this sense of this power, this holiness of the Lord that is filling this whole temple room. And he goes on to say, Isaiah says, "And I said, woe is me, for I am lost." And I think in another passage it says, "I am ruined." And it says, "I am a man of unclean lips. I dwell in the midst of a people of clean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." And again, he's just, in this moment, he's like, I am just a sinful man, and I'm in the presence of this holy God, and I'm ruined. I think another translation or interpretation of that is just like, I'm dead. Like, I just cannot stand physically in the presence of this holy God, because I am not perfect and he is, and how can I even be in the presence of this holy God without just basically just dying in front of him, because I'm nowhere near good enough to be in his presence right now. And then it goes on finally to say, "Then one of the seraphim flew to me, having in his hand a burning coal that he had taken with the tongs from the altar, and he touched my mouth and said, Behold, this has touched your lips, your guilt is taken away, your sin is atoned for." So it's just a sort of taste there of the grace of God providing forgiveness for Isaiah, even though he's like, I'm not worthy to be in God's presence right now. The seraphim come and they give him something that basically makes him worthy, or allows him to be worthy in the presence of God by God's grace. And finally it says, "And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here I am, send me." And then it goes on to say a bit further as to what God commissions him to do. And I guess just in a nutshell, like, I'm hoping the passage speaks for itself, to be honest. You've got this concept of this powerful God that Christians believe is the God of the earth. And if you're not a Christian watching this, I want you to consider, if this holy, majestic, powerful God is indeed real, we've got to take him seriously, and we've got to seriously look into the Christian faith to see if he is real. I need to take seriously the fact that I have not lived a perfect life, and there is this perfectly holy God who's in charge of the universe, and basically I need forgiveness to even be able to stand before him one day. And that person is Jesus, who came, the Son of God, to live a perfect life on your behalf, to die on a cross as a perfect sacrifice for your sin. You can be forgiven, and you can enjoy and experience the presence of God by sheer grace because of Jesus if you put your faith in him. But I hope this passage helps you to see that actually you need Jesus desperately, because this God is so other and so perfect and so mighty that we need some atonement, because we fall so far short of his standard and his holiness that we need some atoning for our sin in order to make us right with God. And Jesus has done that for you and me. And if you're a Christian watching this, then hopefully there's just a reminder of just the incredible power and holiness and might of God that should just make us fear God in a healthy way and want to worship him from a place of humility and complete gratitude, really, that we can come to him because of Jesus. And also that bit at the end, "Here I am, send me." There's a passage in the Bible, isn't there, that says that the harvest is plenty but the workers are few. And it's true. Christians aren't in the majority in the world, and people need to hear about Jesus so desperately. He's the one that can save our souls. He's the one that can make us right with God. He's the one that can give us peace in this life, to be with us in this life, to help us in this life, and give us guaranteed of an eternity with Jesus one day, forever and ever. So yeah, we need to be ones that say, yeah, God, here I am, use me however you want to use me, and always be looking out for those opportunities to share Jesus with others and love and goodness with others around us. So that's the encouragement. If you're a Christian, I hope it's been an encouragement. If you're not a Christian, I hope there's there's almost like a healthy sort of challenge there to consider God, at the very least look into the Christian faith, because if this God is real, we need to take him seriously, and he loves you massively, and he wants to help you find him. So please comment if you have any questions. Do like and subscribe if you found this content helpful. It's appreciated, and obviously it means you hopefully will have access to future videos more easily with the subscription. But for now, have a wonderful rest of your days, whatever you're doing, and I look forward to catching you all on the next one.